Mr. York, you did it. You actually managed to eradicate the Death Gators. As the sheriff of this town, I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Sometimes it makes people smile, sometimes it makes them cry. It can herald both happiness and despair. Each bill is a contract with the devil. The money. Here's your bounty. You've heard it. You're now a rich man. Zach, we finally got our bounty. Can't exactly call ourselves rich, though. He gave us $75. We're rich. Watch out, world. I don't know if we're going to be able to skateboard back to fucking the hotel because our pockets are so fucking heavy with all this moolah. I do like, though, that just thinking about, like, if I did, you know, people have been talking about YouTube algorithm and how you can't really swear in, like, the first minute or two of a video. And if you're trying to monetize it and all this crap, but, like, I'm, like, 30 seconds in to a minute in, and I've said, like, fuck, like, 4 times. Because I literally just have no restraint on my mouth. Nor care. But I always find that funny because people have to restrain themselves or censor it for, you know, whatever the hell YouTube's doing. And I'm just like, I just swear the first, like, 2 minutes. Probably like 10 F-bombs at the beginning. Alright, let's go back to the hotel. I wish it was a sale on Hot Guys.
Okay, hold on.
I'm here to buy, I'm gonna buy a couple antidotes because after dealing with that poison stuff, I don't want to deal with that again. It's alcoholic's best friend. Use this to completely sober yourself up. Can I get drunk? I haven't seen alcohol as a thing to buy yet.
You ever need anything?
Not the sheriff department, done. $250? Why not? Speed this up a little, do a little bit more of the main and story, and then probably call it, because we've been going for quite a while. Even though now, as long as your Twitch updates, now you see how long I've been going. It actually says it now at the bottom, which I think is actually cool. It saves. I mean, some people are still gonna have to use uptime and things like that for Nightbot and crap. I never even used any of that. I always just openly said I've been streaming for X amount of hours. Now it tells you my secrets. Now I can't lie. I wonder if people ever tried to do that. Oh, I've been streaming for 8 hours, but they've actually been streaming for like 3. Because they delete the VOD so you can't see how long they've been streaming for. Probably some stupid idiot that does that. Why am I sleeping until... Go to... Oh, just review the case. I was about to say, I'm like, wait a minute, am I going to sleep? Let's review this.
Let's go over our progress. We've got a complicated case on our hands this time, especially as far as the Clarksons' relationships go. But in a way, it's also a simple one. Understanding them on a deeper level is the most efficient way to uncover the truth behind. That's the one thing I'm sure of.
Evidence organization, start.
Zach, let's start with the people who were closest to the victim. Lise Clarkson, the victim, is the granddaughter of the current head of the Clarkson family. Her mother is Galena, an ex-actress, and Lise clearly inherited her beauty. Except for her eyes, that is. Lisa's eye color matches that of her father's. Now, do you remember who Lise Clarkson's father is?
Oh yeah, it's Melvin Woods and P.J. Clarkson. No, it's Danny Clarkson.
That's right. Lisa's father is Danny Clarkson. His real name is Daniel E. Clarkson. He's from Florida and used to be the CEO of a talent agency. Danny struck the heart of Galena and successfully became a member of the esteemed Clarkson family.
Look at him.
Despite being the son-in-law, he acts like he was born a Clarkson. But he's still just the son-in-law. Next comes what happened to Lise. According to Alexis, Lise said that the man was as tall as an oak tree. I believe that's the same 10-foot-tall giant who made the fingerprints we found in the cold storage warehouse. Now, what did this man do to Lise prior to her murder?
Invite her to the jazz bar. Stole her chocolate sundae. Stalked her.
Yes, that's it, Zach. The man as tall as an oak tree followed Lise around and watched her. Despite his towering stature, he must have been rather shy. Or perhaps he was merely biding his time and planned to kidnap her from the very start. If that's the case, there should have been some evidence left at the scene of the crime. Zach, we're still missing some puzzle pieces. Speaking of the scene of the crime, I did some profiling in the plantation's control room. The truth it revealed to us was nauseating and horrific, but we need to touch upon it if we wish to proceed. Isn't that right, Zach? Who actually murdered Lise Clarkson?
Of course, it was David, the hotel guy.
Yes, that's right. Lisa's own
Who's
mother
taking
killed
these
her
photos? Where are you getting these pictures from?
while she was dreaming about some bizarre new world. This is by far the vilest and ugliest crime we've ever seen. The fact that Galena set up her daughter's body at an altar makes this case even more complicated. Remember, not a single sacrificial human murder has ever been proven and documented in all of American history. The real world is far more complex than what we see in films and video games.
Yeah, chat.
And sacrificing a human life for something else is no easy task. In conclusion, Zach, through our investigation, we found one character who sticks out more than anyone else. You know exactly who I'm thinking about, don't you? We'll need to have a word with her in the near future. Who's the stylish woman we saw during the profiling?
Professor R, Professor R, Professor R. I don't know, probably Professor R.
We haven't met her yet, but she's deeply intertwined with this case. Let's wait for the skeletal gentleman to guide us to her with an oracle. Well, Zach, what do you think? Isn't the Deep South something? The people here are just as warm as the weather, and the food is to die for. Might be nice to move down here after I retire. What, still too early to talk about that? You may be right. After all, this case has only just begun.
Link Born Organization, $10. Someone just came into my room and was just like, that's a really organized board. Here's $10. Just slipped it into my pocket and walked out. I like your board. Here's $10. Thank you. Look like a man who could appreciate $10. Or he's just getting more and more interesting. Like, I wish there was some music or something when it's loading. Awkwardly twiddling my thumbs. I don't know what to talk about during this amazingly quiet tree. Uh-oh.
Galena can't be the killer. They're making all this shit up.
What the fuck is that? Oh, good. I killed 30 of those. Oh, God, he's shaking.
If what you say is true, Daniel, how do you plan to prove it? It's nearly been a century since the Clarksons first took control.
How was York
of
telling the
Carré?
story about what he wasn't around for?
100 years.
Or Zach, I should say.
I always thought my legacy would live on for 2. No, 300 at least.
Look like a villain out of Saints Row.
I'm gonna find the real killer and beat the living dog shit out of him.
Yet it looks to me like times have changed. We ain't in the good old days no more. You understand me, boy.
Yes, sir. I'm right there with you, Paul. I'm gonna continue what you started, sir, and make the Clarkson family strong again.
He's just gonna fuck.
First, I need to find whoever really killed Lise and bash their fucking brains in.
I saw this coming. Ever since the day Lenny left home, the town of Carré has been cursed. We can't stop what's happening now. It's too late. It's beyond me. No. It's beyond the minds of anyone who comes from the olden days. You understand me now, boy?
Yes, sir. Believe me, I do.
I don't think he's listening.
Just leave everything to me, Paul.
Are you serious about this?
Yes, sir. Right hand of God. Look right in my eyes. I ain't lying. I'm serious. I just need you to lend me some troops, sir. We need retribution right now.
Really, there's like two
That's
different
the job I've been
conversations
given,
happening.
and I intend to do it.
Well then, let me ask you one more time. Are you serious about this?
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm a Clarkson, and all Clarksons have a job to do. Isn't that what we always say?
Mm-hmm. Then I'll need an arm.
Yeah. What?
Well now, you want to use my troops, I'm gonna need to know whether or not you're really serious about this. Just one arm. Slide it on through that wire there, and it'll take care of it for you.
What the fuck?
Paul, I mean, you're joking, right?
Daniel, have I ever told you a single joke?
All the time. You're a comedian, Dad.
No, but
If you want to become a real Clarkson,
Oh, God.
then you done
It's a
got
guy from The
yourself a job
Godfather
to
that
do.
I played. Like, it's my character, except less ugly.
wait, Paul, I get it now. You want me to stick it in and pull it out at the last minute, right? You want to see if I got guts or not, but there's gonna be another way.
What the fuck is happening?
You can't be serious, sir.
How is he gonna stick that
Hey,
arm through?
hey, knock it off, you assholes! Let me go! He's just joking with me. Let me go, goddammit! Oh, please, sir, don't do this! Just tell me this is a joke, please!
I am a Clarkson. And no matter how our fortune falls, all Clarksons have a job to do. That be the law of this land.
Anyway. Dude's killing it. Oh, man, she's really into the drums. Look at her. That dude's in his undies. Oh, I love this bar. Let's hang out here more often. Dude, that dude's killing it. She's killing it on the drums. This dude's the life of the party. The most random scene that they had to show me at the jazz. They were like, well, this is where the music's coming from. Holy shit, we only just completed. It's taken me so long to get through it. It took me 10 hours to get through episode 1. I should have been so much. I like this as a payment owed. I should have had. This should have been done so much faster, but I've done so many stupid side missions. And that's where I came. Oh, God.
York, you can hear me, right? I'll be with you soon. I'm not sad. Honestly, I can't wait. It's all I think about lately. I mean, we'll be together again. We'll get to discuss movies, food again. Everyone around here has bad taste. They don't understand things the way we do. It's a shitty world filled with shitty people.
Okay.
Oh, that reminds me. There are movie theaters and restaurants over there, right? As soon as I get there, let's go grab some peanut butter hamburgers and yogurt smoothies.
What the fuck is that combo?
So
I
excited.
mean, it doesn't sound the worst, but kind of just a very sudden interest.
Please, York, don't rush me. You just need to wait a bit longer. I still have
There was that fairy.
one job.
Was that Emily?
left to do. I need to finish it. I have to. Or else I'd never be able to face you. Just give me a little more time, okay?
(2019). Anyway, back to the present. In a suburb in Boston, Massachusetts.
So, Lisa's mother, Galena Clarkson, confessed to murdering Lise. But then immediately afterwards, she went insane. So you had no choice but to detain her. What a terribly convenient story. You were the first person to find the suspect hiding at a farm on the edge of town. And you even got her to confess to the crime. Right then and there. Did anyone else get a chance to hear Galena's confession?
Only us.
How did you even find that shack in the first place?
Didn't he already say?
Metaphysical offender profiling.
Meta what? Should I know this word?
Shut up.
Metaphysical offender profiling. The term appears 6 times in the Carré report and 14 times in the 2010 Greenvale report.
Everyone loves the Greenvale report.
As long as you're solving cases, the people in charge don't really care what sort of words you use. But we're different. You utilized a highly abnormal method to instantly hone in on a suspect. Then you did it again and again. And every time you used it, one term kept appearing in your files. Metaphysical offender profiling. Mr. Morgan, would you mind explaining to us what this term means?
We could try.
But no matter what words we used, you'd never be able to understand. You see, it doesn't pertain to this side. Come, my fairy, stop hiding back there and give them the explanation they so desire. What, you're too shy?
Mr. Morgan? Mr. Morgan!
Come on out.
Come on out.
Is that all you have to say? Don't underestimate me, Morgan. I know you and the Clarksons share a deeper connection, much deeper than how it appears on the surface. I need to shake him with something else that's directly connected to the Clarksons. I'm gonna jog his memory by force.
By punching the shit out of him.
A stack of old letters. These must be the letters that he mentioned in the report. That dragonfly mark proves it.
Oh, I don't want to look at it, damn it.
Those
I want
letters
to talk
look
about other
very
stuff.
old. The postmark suggests they were sent out from Louisiana. And I suspect that dragonfly mark belongs to the Clarkson family.
Maybe. So what if it does?
A stalker has been harassing Patricia Clarkson for several years now. Did you know about this? Constant silent phone calls, unmarked letters. She also spotted a suspicious figure lurking near her mansion several times.
I sure as shit can't move,
And just
but I
last
can.
week, her employees spotted a strange figure lurking in the vicinity. The day someone else coincidentally used your alias and traveled to Louisiana.
That's very intriguing. Aligned symbolism.
Lise Clarkson also reported being harassed by a stalker just before she was murdered. You're aware of this, correct? Because I didn't find any mention of this in your report.
No direct connection to the case. That's what we must have thought.
The visionary lies to himself, the liar only to others. Which are you?
That's enough for now. This all has nothing to do with the case. Besides, there's no evidence that proves those letters are from her. Isn't that right, my fairy?
Stop fucking judging me. I just want to smoke.
Reading over it again, I can't help but notice how well organized this report is. One might even call it perfect. Except some parts have been redacted in an extremely suspicious way. Why are all these places blotted out? Mr. Morgan, I noticed that several parts of this report have been redacted. For example, here. One individual's name has been erased from the key figure list. Would you mind telling me why?
Someone in charge must have thought it was unimportant. Or maybe even inappropriate.
Yeah, maybe they don't want to talk about
Why
it.
would they think that?
How should we know? We've never understood what those people do.
Well, I took the liberty of trying to restore what was taken out. Normal ink was used to blot it out, so I was able to recover part of it. Here's what it says.
Sapling salesman.
salesman.
Don't mention him.
All the other redacted parts seem to be connected to this person,
Can't mention him. You'll crash the game and that fat fuck.
but I can't think of a single reason why this individual would need to be removed from the report. Why is he so untouchable?
Oh, him. He's nothing. We were barking up the wrong tree.
Meaning?
Can't include someone who doesn't exist in an official report, now can we?
Doesn't exist. You mean he had nothing to do with the case?
Yeah, you could say that.
Someone stole Lisa's body and it's been missing for the past 14 years. I find it hard to believe that it was simply hidden in that cold storage warehouse the entire time. Why wasn't a more detailed investigation carried out?
Oh,
Mr. Morgan,
yes, you're still here.
according to you, at the beginning of this case, the victim's body was being stored in the warehouse on purpose. Is that the truth? They really put her body there alongside food and other perishables?
It's in the report.
No. The report only says it was stored using the most effective and shockingly inhuman method possible.
If you can think of a better phrase, we're all ears.
The report isn't wrong, you know. In fact, that might actually be the most accurate way of describing it.
Simon, I wish you'd just shut up.
It's precise, and it's also kind of...
Yes, it's poetic. Now shut up.
Wow, Simon. We never would have taken you for a poet.
Right?
You two think this is a joke? Lise Clarkson's body was discovered in
Yes.
that cold storage warehouse after 14 long years. If you'd only done a proper investigation, we probably would have found her much sooner. Poor girl.
We still regret the fact that we never got to meet her. We're sorry, from the bottoms of our heart.
I only hope it didn't happen that way by design.
Will you comfort me? Thank you,
Giving
my
him a
fairy.
blowjob.
I knew it wouldn't go that easily. Maybe I should try asking my questions in a different way. I could use Agent Jones here. That's the window that faces the street out front. I can tell just from the layout of his furniture. Now I'm surrounded by everything I couldn't see out there. This is a nice building. Layout isn't bad either. Whew.
It's
Must
a
be rather
sudden change
expensive
of
to rent a place like this in
sudden
Boston.
change in topic.
How many other rooms are there in this apartment? That room over there, your bedroom?
Why so curious, Belle? It almost sounds as if you're seeing this place for the first time. Aside from the hardware shop on the first floor, every apartment in this building has the exact same layout. We're well aware that you studied the layout of this apartment before you came to see us. There's no need to act so roundabout. Just be honest. Say it. I want to see your bedroom.
Well then,
Doesn't mean we'll let you see it, though.
It's my bedroom.
It's bugging you, isn't it, Aaliyah?
huh? What?
I get it. I get it. It's bugging me too. It's even got my heart racing a little. I mean, look at this. Nothing but DVDs. Not a single Blu-ray in sight. Just pure, unadulterated
Just having him talk
DVDs.
before we have to go back to all the goofy. It's like the story pacing is all weird because I'm doing those side missions, but everything would be flowing a little faster if I wasn't sitting there killing 30 things.
He's got VHS tapes too. I don't even have a VHS player in my house anymore. Whoa. Look at this. Check it out.
Spaceballs.
This one's got a lot of pizza
That's
in it, remember?
fucking low textured text of Spaceballs.
You're not wrong, Simon. There's a very large quantity of pizza in that film. 1987, directed by Mel Brooks. The version on that tape is the one we recorded back when you could catch it on cable TV.
Seriously? Damn, Morgan, that's incredible. You're really living the dream, man.
I hope you both haven't forgotten that this conversation is also being recorded.
I want to sit and watch Spaceballs. Can't we just watch that? Can that be allowed on stream? A good movie.
Agent Jones is completely checked out, despite the fact that we're heading deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole here. Agent Jones,
Get your hands out of your insides.
are you paying attention? Or do you intend to waste Mr. Morgan's precious time?
No. Sorry. I'm just a little tired. I'm listening.
Take your hand out of your pocket. Didn't they teach you any manners at Quantico?
Oh, right. Guess they slipped my mind. My bad. I'm actually kinda nervous. I'm not used to this sort of thing. Data analysis is my specialty, you know. I'm sure I'd be able to calm down a bit if I had some pizza, though.
Don't order pepperoni. Don't order pepperoni. Don't order pepperoni. Don't have tomato sauce. Just give him a white pizza, for God's sakes. If he sees red, he's gonna go livid.
The FBI needs to do something about their lack of personnel. But how should I start?
Jesus, I
Maybe
didn't hit
I
anything.
should look back over the files and calmly reassess the situation.
I should. Yeah, pizza sauce. I should talk about the case, but that ceiling light.
An elegant antique lighting fixture. And most of his other furniture is of the same quality. Why is his room such a mess then? This is why, instead of calling him a dangerous person, they've labeled him a high-functioning sociopath.
The fuck?
Just the usual around here, no need to worry.
The usual?
Yes. A strange person lives
With that
upstairs.
stomping pound, I better not be fucking Case of that fat fuck.
Every now and then, he makes noise.
What's strange about him?
Several years ago, a woman was murdered upstairs. Her husband still lives there.
Yikes.
He's ex-BPD. And apparently, he's still searching for the killer. But it seems like they cut all support for the investigation due to decreased funding. The team on the case wanted to keep working on it, but the suits wouldn't hear of it. A tale as old as time. Due to his situation, perhaps. He's been making a lot more noise recently, like you just heard.
You never noticed anything, Agent Jones.
Well, I did hear some loud noises every now
Now I
and
want
then.
pizza, but I'm on a strict diet. I have to wait a couple more weeks before I can have a
But
cheat
I didn't
meal.
think they were real noises coming from upstairs. I mean, look at him. It's not like he's reacting to the noise. He always just went about his business as usual for all the years I've watched him. So I just figured it was coming from the TV.
You really amaze me sometimes. So far, everything checks out with the report, but there were always some parts of the report that didn't make sense.
Like him skateboarding.
He expects me to believe he just happened to solve a case this difficult while he was on vacation and metaphysical offender profiling? I won't let him distract me with his fancy made-up words.
And that he beat up 30 fucking alligators?
After you arrested Galena Clarkson, you had a run-in with the Clarksons. At least that's what it says in the report. What exactly happened there?
Plus, he also wrote everything as Francis Z. Morgan on the thing.
Just a simple run-in, that's all. Nothing but a single phenomenon. Chasing hollow instances like that won't lead you closer to the truth. Truth doesn't work like that.
A hollow phenomenon, which resulted in a mountain of corpses.
Yeah, and the stone skipping we did for about an hour. But in game time, it took like 4.
Belle, we think we finally understand what you're trying to say, but don't be so voracious. How about another cup of coffee? We've still got a long way to go, you know.
As long as he doesn't look in the mirror, he'll see red and get upset.
Yes. It's coarsely ground, so there should only be 4 teaspoons per cup. No more, no less. Next, the coffee travels from the funnel to the siphon. Simon, normally you only do surveillance in order to gather data, correct? Hiding microphones and cameras, sifting through garbage, wiretapping, shadowing, tracing credit card histories. You'll do whatever it takes to gather data in order to prevent crimes. That's how the FBI works.
Well, yeah, you're right. No reason in hiding it now, I guess. Why do you ask?
Our Southern Belle has adopted a very peculiar MO. It's almost like she has
Oh,
a
God.
special power, just like us.
Oh, is she special too? Is she the New York?
You've been watching us this entire time, haven't you, Belle? From that window.
I don't need to answer that question.
You came here on New Year's Eve, then spent 49 hours watching us until you returned to your hotel room last night. You observed us the entire time without sleep or rest, and you only ate once. Some pizza delivered by Simon. Aside from that, you never drank any water or relieved yourself.
That's
you
disgusting.
simply sat there, and continued to watch us. You have visions, too, don't you? You came here solely to hear us talk, didn't you? But then, why bother watching us for over 2 days?
I think somebody dropped
beforehand?
something upstairs. In real life, I heard a bang. I think someone either fell off of their bed or they dropped something.
You didn't come to talk with us. You came because you wanted to see this apartment with your own eyes, and because you're already convinced of something. Isn't that right? He who fights with monsters should see to it that he himself does not become a monster. And if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you.
Look out, it's Kason. Dear
But
God.
Oh, coffee.
Oh, coffee.
Thank you, my fairy. If you hadn't been paying attention, this coffee would have all gone to waste. The pus in our brains.
Oh,
It really has a way of interfering with our lives.
please don't call it that. I don't want to talk about the pus in our brains.
Didn't remember.
He's trying to kill Zach upstairs. I like this coffee. Nom, 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 nom.
Oh. What the Christ? This is friggin' delicious. I thought I was gonna shit myself for a second there.
Yo,
Come on, Aaliyah, take a sip. Trust me. I'm not exaggerating here.
I don't believe it. It's better than any coffee I've ever tasted.
Of course it is. Coffee is a sacred drink. Coffee saved us.
it's our Lord and
If
Savior.
not for its oracle, we would be on the other side right now. So I never forget to pay my respects to coffee, especially at critical moments like this.
Big black cumulonimbus clouds are in the sky, and that sound. Thunder snow is coming.
Under snow is coming. What the fuck? Also, are you sure it's not just Kason having gas? He's nearby farting.
Does Agent Jones need pizza in order to calm down? Why does he hate being out in the field so much? He knows we need to be on our absolute guard against this guy. Why can't he just pull it together?
I mean, I'd be on edge if I didn't get my pizza.
Come on, don't glare at me like that, Aaliyah. I told you I'm out of my element here, remember?
This isn't the time or the place.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just really nervous. I mean, Morgan's a legend. And now he's right in front of us, and things are all tense. I'm sure it'd give any normal agent a stomachache.
And what the fuck would pizza do for you if you have a stomach ache?
Incidentally, Simon, why did you decide to stop working out in the field?
Don't ask. It's a long story.
I don't mind. We have lots of time.
And then
don't
someone grabs Zach's shoulder and be like, we don't really have a lot to... The guy's been going for like 8.5 hours almost. He really does want to get to bed soon.
we? I could
He still
even
has to
make you
work
a
out
cup
after
of
the stream.
coffee, if you like.
Fine then. I'll try to make it brief. See, I used to work out in the field. Even had my own partner. But we had a little rivalry that sort of ruined our relationship. It was over a woman, of course. You know how it goes.
You fucked my
We
wife.
fell in love with the same girl. At the same workplace, too. Then one day, the three of us went to go do a stakeout at a restaurant over in East Boston. I pretended to be a customer while my partner waited in the car, and she waited in the building across the way. Well, it only took a few minutes for my partner and I to lose our heads. We started engaging in this dumb contest to see who could impress her more.
And that always makes you look like idiots.
Things were looking bad. I knew I was gonna lose. Then, something happened.
I came in my pants.
Right in front of me, a customer starts choking on something. face was pale, froth at the mouth, the whole 9 yards. I got up at once, but my partner stopped me. Didn't want us to blow our cover, so what did I do? I ignored him. Helped the guy anyway. I couldn't stand by and watch that. I couldn't help myself. Next thing I knew, I was a hero. The guy survived, the restaurant thanked me, and I'd even managed to win the heart of you-know-who. It felt pretty good, you know?
Yeah, sure, I know
One-upping
you
my
know
partner
who.
right in front of his very eyes. But that was the beginning of the end. A few days later, she and I went to go get some bubble tea at a cafe in Brookline, and a man comes up to me and said,
I'm here to thank you on behalf of the person you saved in that restaurant.
Feeling a bit cocky, I said, all in a day's work, my good man, and tried to brush him away. But he held out an envelope to me and said,
My client broke 3 ribs thanks to the unnecessary Heimlich maneuver you administered to him. He wants you to ensure that he'll be able to get the proper treatment.
What the fuck is the change in voice?
I thought I'd saved someone, but all I ended up doing is wasting a lot of my precious time wrapped up in an astronomically stupid court case. It also blew our cover, so our target found out about us. In the end, I was taken out of the field and banished to a meaningless job that anyone with half a brain could do.
A lot of Simon backstory.
Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Anyway, well, that's what happened. Of course, I also lost the love of my life and went back to being a lonesome loser. And that's why I hate being out in the field. Oh, come on. I tell you all that and you're not even going to say anything?
We didn't record
That
voice
was-
lines.
Long, Simon.
Hey, I warned you. I told you it'd be long. Oh.
No one cares about Simon.
Looks like Agent Jones is actually mad about something for once, but he got what he deserved. I mean, showing off during an investigation, competing with another FBI agent, I'm surprised he was only transferred.
Now he's upset.
Agent Jones, I'm sorry for not responding to your story. It was just so bizarre. I wasn't sure what to say.
Sorry that the greatest trauma of my life ended up being too bizarre for you.
Well, what do you expect? All you ever talk about is pizza or hitting on women. Honestly, it offended me. I felt like I was listening to a teenage boy tell some misogynistic conquest story.
Whoa, Aaliyah. Hold on a minute here. Despite how I may seem to you, I am actually pretty popular with the ladies.
Well, you should help people in the Western world. Exactly. No help. And also, you just said you were a lonesome loser. You can't then just turn around and be like, I'm pretty popular with the ladies.
And you know that coworker of mine? She's the one who came on to me. Besides, I only told that story because a certain someone asked me to. It's what happens when you're a popular guy.
Is this all some big joke to you? I'm really losing my patience here.
You simply have yet to awaken to my masculine
I'm
charm.
about to throw up, Simon.
Maybe you should try getting some more experience under your belt.
Agent Jones, are you trying to get me to sue you for sexual harassment?
Has my dick gone in your mouth? Yeah, it's like, Simon, calm down.
He's digging his own grave. Isn't he, my fairy?
Aw, come on, Morgan, not you too. I'm sure a guy like you can tell why women might find me attractive.
What's that supposed to mean?
I just mean, you know, imagine it for a minute.
I don't even want to imagine you shirtless.
A woman who you wouldn't necessarily call beautiful, yet still possesses some unique charm. You see women every now and then who you wouldn't mind spending a night or two with, right? And I'm like the male version of that.
No, you are the... You what I picture my vomit to look like.
Come on, you know what I mean.
Not even close.
Some women just prefer a man who's a little below the norm.
Well, then you show me where those women are, Simon, because I'm still looking for one that are into guys that are more thigh than guy.
And they're usually with a different guy each time you see them.
That's a hooker.
From straight-laced businessmen
Or a
to gold chains and fake tans.
Jesus Christ, Simon.
They prefer buffet style, you know?
The fuck?
Anyway, my point is, we've all got this special kind of sex appeal.
Yeah, and your sex appeal is about as about as effective as a bucket of vomit. It won't do anything, and it's just disgusting.
I couldn't even keep track of all the sexist remarks you made just now.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hey, just cool it for a sec, would ya? We're having a guy conversation here.
No, you're just talking to yourself.
This is all just strategy I'm using to try and loosen Morgan up. Trust me.
Morgan has not paid attention to anything you said.
If he actually had a hand in this, it would explain why Lisa's body was left frozen for all that time. The body wasn't stolen. It wasn't that he couldn't find it. He just left it there. It's definitely a possibility. Why would an agent as skilled as you close the Lise Clarkson case without locating her body?
Good question.
Now we're back to serious topics.
Maybe we just weren't as skilled as you think back then. Isn't that right, my fairy?
You reported the body as being stolen. Was that truly the case?
Meaning?
Meaning there's a possibility that the body wasn't stolen, but purposefully moved instead. Maybe someone ordered someone else to get rid of the body, or even store it in a specific place.
But who? And for what purpose?
In order to use the body for something else. You never considered that? Perhaps there's some connection between the frozen body and the fact that Sang Rouge is still being produced.
Hey, Aaliyah, how about explaining yourself clearly?
Simon,
so
no
that
one has
even
to explain
I
and
can
have you follow
along?
along.
Someone extracted the ingredients to Sang Rouge from Lise Clarkson's body. That's what you're trying to say, isn't it, Belle?
So that they could go on producing the inimitable drug without Professor R.
What?
Drug addiction destroys people, physically and mentally.
You don't know that.
It makes them capable of doing anything just so they can get their hands on a fix. Abusing a corpse? That's nothing to an addict. And with your dependency, I suspect you might know just what that's like.
Maybe we do. If you threaten to take this away from us, I might have to kill you both right here and steal all your $100 bills. Oh, spine-tingling, scary stuff.
Specifically
isn't it, my
$100 bills.
You sure got a twisted sense of humor there, Morgan.
Anyway, the window you want me to look at.
Do you hear that thunder? It's probably gonna snow soon.
We're in Massachusetts. That's the norm for this time of year.
Well, I'm not used to the cold. If possible, I'd like to finish this up before we get stuck in a snowstorm. Agent Jones, after we're done here, Agent Jones, is something the matter? Snap out of it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know.
Do you? Then stop daydreaming.
Okay.
Gotta poop.
You just what?
My stomach's been letting some thunder loose, too.
Thunder?
That coffee was just
oh my
so good.
God.
It what? We don't have all day here.
For Christ's sake, Davis, he's gotta poop.
The coffee was just so good, it, summoned forth a massive tsunami from
Jesus
within me.
Christ, you're an adult. Just say you have to poop.
Excuse me? What is wrong with you? Now is really not the time for this.
I'll fucking tsunami your asshole.
Right door at the end of the hallway.
Thanks, pal. Hold on. You can make it.
We promise you, we did not put laxatives in the coffee. Coffee is a sacred drink, remember?
Motherfucker. There's no doubt that the report omitted information linking Morgan to the Clarksons. I need to get him to confess. Oh, yeah. That reminds me, there's a secret weapon in Agent Jones's briefcase. He's chain smoking it nonstop. He's clearly dependent on it.
Maybe he just likes the fucking taste. Have you looked at it? He looks like shit.
Which means he might be dependent on other drugs as well.
Well, he's gonna be dependent on headache medicine of any kind after this, because god damn it, Jones is a headache.
Mr. Morgan, I heard that you were always a smoker.
I heard you were a hooker.
Did you ever wonder if that was the reason you contracted your illness?
What does that have to do with this case?
Well, nothing. We keep seeming to jump around between case questions and randomly unrelated things that I feel like talking about.
Nothing. I'm just personally curious about it.
Sometimes people die in car accidents, regardless of how well they take care of their health. Other times they slip on their bathroom floors and crack open their heads. Isn't that right, my friend?
And some get their tongue bit out and stabbed onto a tree.
I'm not concerned with statistics. I'm just curious about you, right here, right now.
We switched over from nicotine to this. It's less addictive. That's one step in the right direction, isn't it?
Perhaps. If we're talking about withdrawal symptoms or physical dependencies. But it still seems like you're smoking too much at once. Honestly, it looks to me like you have a mental dependency.
Maybe. But so what if we do?
Surely you know about gateway drugs, yes? When a person starts to use one drug, it becomes much easier for them to branch out and try other drugs as well.
Are you trying to force me into doing other drugs? Did you bring other drugs, lady?
The first drug acts as the gateway that leads them to stronger substances.
Oh. Are you trying to say that's going to happen to us?
No. I'm simply saying there's a possibility.
Talking about them gateway drugs, man.
Agent Jones probably won't be back for a while. Actually, now might be my opportunity to make some real progress.
Pulls out a gun and shoots him.
Have you ever seen this before? And please, don't say no.
It's a
Sang
bag.
Rouge, the drug we once chased. What about it?
Sang Rouge is still circulating. It's changed shape and its composition is slightly different now. But it's still very much alive. But only in a very limited part of Louisiana.
Mainly a
You want a
Popeye's
surprise?
chicken area.
Did you somehow know this would happen?
Copies of another drug being circulated isn't exactly a rare case.
But Sang Rouge is special. The inimitable Enigma powder. The origin. It has many names, and no one was ever able to copy it. We've also been trying to figure out what it's made from ever since it appeared. But it's impossible to analyze. After all, it appears to be made from common ingredients that can be found anywhere. But if you try to use those ingredients, all you'll end up with is a mundane hallucinogen like DMT. If you're lucky. No. Sang Rouge requires a special recipe. The original recipe, which someone's been guarding
The
this
Kentucky
entire
Fried
time.
Chicken KFC's original recipe?
Someone who survived the incident in Le Carré. He read these over and over again, like a prisoner rereading letters from his loved ones. But the last letter was delivered years ago, according to this postmark. That must be the last time he communicated with whoever was sending these. Yet, he left them out in plain sight. Immediately after they found Lisa's body, I went to go see Patricia. In order to interrogate her, of course.
Oh.
So you told us.
But I was unable to meet with her.
She refused to speak with you, didn't she? That's so like her.
No, she didn't get the chance to. You see, she's gone missing.
What?
To put it more accurately, no one's seen her since the afternoon of the 28th. According to her
What?
employees, she shut herself up in her room for several months before she disappeared. But since that sort of thing happened often, they didn't think anything of it. On the morning of New Year's Eve, they noticed her window was open, and when they went up to check on her, she was gone. But no one knows how long her window had been open for. This is just my hypothesis, but on December 28th, a strange man visited Le Carré and was spotted near her mansion. That man must have found some way to lure Patricia into his car,
Candy.
the '89 Cadillac that he bought used. Then, the two of them drove north to Trenton, where they boarded a train to Boston. They would have arrived here around midnight on the 29th, or perhaps early morning on the 30th. I believe this man is the same Billy Bishop whose name was previously recorded by the airline.
You're gonna tell me there's a woman in my bedroom this
So,
entire time?
What do you think of my guess? I'd love to hear your opinion as a former FBI special agent.
Ah, we get it. We aren't persons of interest. We're the suspects. But what about our alibi?
What alibi?
I've had enough of your bullshit. You expect me to believe you haven't taken a single step out of this room? That Agent Jones is your witness? Surveillance cameras can easily be tampered with, especially by someone like you, who knows all about how the FBI works.
You're possessed by death. Go and take a look at your own face in the mirror. You look like the Grim Reaper. After you visited both Le Carré and Greenvale, you left a mountain of corpses in your wake. You can make all the excuses you want. I'm immune to them. Right here, right now, I want to know everything. You tell me the truth.
Yes! You're good,
Oh,
Belle.
yes.
Damn good. You're brimming with potential. Don't you think she's the perfect partner for our last dance? What do you say, my fairy? Don't
God,
you agree?
he's so
She's
erect
good.
right now.
So good. What do you want to know? We've got nothing to hide. Go on. Question us. This is how it's got to be. Doesn't this remind you of something? You know what I mean, my fairy.
Holy fuck, he's lost it. What a... Dude, he's into getting yelled at, man. He got an erect penis in the first time in God knows how long. Anyway, back to 2005.
Son of a... How did this happen in my town? God damn it!
Patty. She's the
The
murderer.
head and limbs were severed and lined up, according to the lines that were drawn with her blood. Just like migratory birds flying systematically across the sky. Hey, Zach, what do you think this means?
They're severed roots.
Severed roots?
This is the way the Clarksons kill someone when they want to cut 'em off from the family.
And how do you know about this?
Everyone in town knows about it. They're just too scared to talk.
What does the V stand for, then?
Vagina.
Beats me. What, you think I know everything now?
Vilitatio. It means quarrel in Latin. That's what the V stands for.
Latin. Intriguing, isn't it, Zach? There are no defense wounds on the corpse. In other words, Galena showed no signs of resistance when she was amputated. But, strangely enough, there are small traces of subcutaneous bleeding around the wounded areas. That's a vital reaction, which means she couldn't have been dead.
You mean...
Yes, that's right, Patty. Galena was amputated while she was still alive, and she never resisted.
The kid's
Is
unfazed
that
by
even
this.
possible?
It certainly isn't impossible. For example, if she was put to sleep with a drug, or if she desired the amputation herself.
Why would she ever desire that?
Mr. York, I'm sorry, but there ain't no way that could have happened.
How can you be sure of that, Melvin? Our world contains phenomena that could never be explained with logic. This is especially true for phenomena in which humans are involved. Do you really think all the facets of love and hate can be explained with logic?
Well, no, I don't reckon I do. Yeah, might be too early to rule out those possibilities, just like you say.
Zach, now we truly know just how deeply the Clarksons are involved with this. Patty, how long does it take to reach the Clarkson estate?
I don't know, by skateboard.
Just a short drive. You just gotta head west along the Mississippi. You can't miss it.
Got it. Thank you, Patty. By the way, Melvin, no matter how accelerated
He's like,
Patty
get that
may
out of
be,
my eyes.
don't you think she's still a bit too young to see something like this? For the record, I have no intent to instruct others on how to raise their children, but...
Holy moly, you're right! Patricia, CLG! Come on, sweetie. Kids shouldn't have to say stuff like
this.
this.
It's a little late, don't you think?
Daddy, it's too late now.
Yeah, it's like he kind of already seen everything and pointed stuff out.
You sure you okay, CLG?
I'm fine. Besides, I'm used to seeing stuff like that on CSI. You're the one who looks pale, Daddy.
Well, it did shake me up a little. But I'll be back to normal in no time.
Looks the same. His character model doesn't change.
Sorry about that, Mr. York.
Also, they made me shave.
What say we rest in the interrogation room till we all calm down, CLG?
Sure thing, Daddy. I'm gonna go sit with Daddy for a bit, Agent York. We can join back up later.
It took away my facial hair. I'm pissed. It made me shave. And I think they took me out of my other suit, too. This is my basic bitch suit. Or maybe I am in my normal, or my new suit. Maybe they just shaved me. I just want to get to the phone and save. I was supposed to be done like 30 to 48 minutes ago. I don't know. I was supposed to be done a while ago.
You found the flying serpent. But now, the flying serpent will come to find you.
Is it a metaphor for a penis?
Yeah, that sounds right. And it looks like this flying serpent is a venomous one.
Some become feasts, while others are eaten alive. Which fate would you prefer?
Yes.
Both sound marvelous, but let me check with Zach.
A fine answer. Find the one who fired the pistol at heaven. Within the white hall of beds, brandish the ticket to the goddess. And once again, you will see the other world. Do you comprehend the oracle?
Zach, it looks like he's hell-bent on leading us back into that other world.
Follow the oracle.
I like that we're solving a
Oh,
case
I
all
will,
based
Julio.
off this fucking guy.
There are only two types of things in our world. Things that should be resisted and things that should be accepted. And I believe this oracle is something to accept.
Like the first one had some like parts where you're like, okay, I think I got it, but there was still a lot of mind fuckery. But this one is like They
think we're crazy
they're
for believing
explaining
everything
how
that
the
skeletal
other world
gentleman
kind
says?
of happens, the transition to how York gets to it, but there's somehow still just as much mindfuckery and weird mental shit that he's going through to solve the case. Much more so than the first one, where the first one he just seemed to be like just a really good at profiling kind of guy.
No, we're not crazy. Not one bit. This is our destiny.
This one now he's just listening to some fucking hallucination almost.
But I shouldn't need to explain that to you, Zach.
Anyway, let's figure out the decryption of this
The one
oracle.
who fired the pistol at Heaven. Firing pistols at the sky might be a rather common occurrence for the South. Remember? Bingo, Zach. We're currently running a race here, and the one who started this murder investigation is indeed the one who fired the pistol at Heaven.
Heartburn.
In other words, the person who first discovered the body. According to the files, Lisa's body was discovered by Chuck Thompson, a crawfish farmer. He apparently works out of a fishing hut located in the marshes south of the bayou. Let's go pay him a visit. Who knows? We might even get to see some crawfish.
I was down there, York. There was nothing but fucking alligators. Do you not remember spending an entire hour just trying to kill 30 fucking alligators?
What? Why isn't the murderer the one who started this race? Zach, this isn't like you. Of course the murderer isn't the one who started the race.
I was talking about alligators, Zach, or York. I wasn't talking about
The murderer's running it.
You never listen
They're
to me
currently
anyway.
in first place, and they're breaking all the rules. Any more objections, Zach?
No, you don't listen to a word I say anyway, York.
Within the White Hall of Beds. This one is even easier. There are only a few establishments that have a whole hall's worth of beds, especially in a small town like that. I'm sure you've already got a pretty good idea about what the answer is, Zach.
Yeah, Mrs. Carpenter's bedroom.
Beds all lined up. Only an amateur would hear that and think, you really think that's a White Hall? Sorry, but I have to there's a more
I wanted to
obvious
see what he would
place that
say.
anyone would think of.
I know what he was talking about. I
lined up.
wanted
You
to
never
see what he would
disappoint,
say if I
Zach.
chose the wrong one.
It's a medical facility.
Yeah.
They invite their patients into rooms full of beds.
He's like,
where
I
they're
disagree.
tended to by doctors and nurses clad in white. It's definitely a White Hall, where people are invited into beds. You always manage to impress me with your intuition.
I was hoping for more of a brothel, but, you know, sure,
Really
I'll take what I
counting
can
on you
get.
here, Zach. And I know I'll always be able to.
Then someone came into my room and was just like, you're really good at that decryption. Here's $10.
Agent York, you're trying to leave without your trustworthy assistant?
Hello there, Patty. I'd never attempt such a thing.
I love the, like, dead inside, like, he just turns, hello there, Patty. just like a boring, like, hello there, little girl. I am your animatronic friend, York.
I was simply engaging in a battle of wits with Hoongan while I waited for you.
Hoongan?
Yes, the skeletal gentleman in the top hat.
Not that story again. Is this how you always conduct your investigations?
Sadly, no. The later investigations was me just looking at static TV until I figured out the picture.
This is the way I work.
I bet you can't find a single partner. Not even in the entire FBI.
That's not true. I always work together with Zach.
Oh, right. Zach. Don't worry. I'll be your partner while you're here in our town. Now, let's go investigate.
Kind of weird that I gotta keep hanging out with this little girl that just kind of looks like an adult but shrunk. Anyway, we got 2 different locations we can go to. You know, that's awesome. Please let me save the game. I was supposed to be done. I've been going for almost 9 hours. I'm tired. I still gotta go work out. Fuck. God damn it.